Hey, what's good? Bri Woodson has a bachelor's of science in human resources and is wrapping up her master's in clinical mental health counseling. With that foundation in mental health and community care, she's worked across Georgia to ensure equity isn't just an idea, but an action. And now she's running to represent Georgia's 12th district. This is my conversation with Bri Woodson. Before we get into it, remember to go to coconutjustice.com to get you some clothes that I think would look good on you. Let's go. Hey, everybody, welcome back. So, Bri Woodson is here. And before we started recording, Bri, you got into talking about how you are a content creator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I it's so weird calling myself that content creator influencer, but I'm a human that has almost 200,000 followers across platforms. We'll phrase it like that, but it's actually what threw me into a congressional race.
Yeah.
I did not mean to set out to be a content creator or a political voice on the internet. It was purely by accident. I went incredibly viral last January for criticizing the current administration pretty harshly. I
Yeah.
posted a video, like before I posted that video, I probably had, I don't know, 300, 400 followers on that page. Posted the video, 3 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep, fell asleep, woke up, and it had over 1 million plays. And I was like,
Nice.
what did I do? And
Nice.
so, that was the end of January. In February, I had already wanted to make a Black History Month series. So I made at least 2 to 3 videos every single day that month for Black History. And that series ended up going viral. And then next thing I know, I have a platform across TikTok and Instagram of almost 200,000 people that listen to me yap about history and politics. So
Yeah.
when there was an issue, probably heard of her. Her name's Tori Branham. And yes, that is the issue. That is the issue, just that. She
Just
is
her
a
name.
former she's a former Marine firearms trainer and also running for Congress in the same district I am. She's
Yeah.
very hardcore MAGA. She is the
Okay.
woman who called ICE on the Hyundai plant out here in Georgia and got all those Korean nationals deported and caused serious issue with our relationship with Korea. Our governor actually had to fly to Korea 3 times to try to salvage relationships as best he could. She is currently still running in the race.
Yeah.
And at that time, there was only, I think, one other person interested in running uh, for that seat on the Democratic side. So I was like, I'll put my name in. Why not? And I got a lot of support online.
Yeah.
Um, and I didn't think I'd get that support online, but
Was it
fast
like,
forward,
was it more local support or was it like national support?
both.
Yeah.
And but the national support has been very, very shocking. I did not think that I would get this much national support. Like,
Yeah.
I'm endorsed by Officer Mike Fanone, which is
Let's
I'm
go.
like I'm like, how did
I
that
just saw
happen?
you on C-SPAN. What's going
Right? I'm like, how did this happen? But we're here. And I I've I think there is some criticism on how much of a national race and presence that I do have. But I think one of the biggest reasons that the incumbent, who is Rick Allen, who's been there for a decade, he's 74 this year. One of
Oof.
the reasons why I think that he's able to keep getting reelected is because he has a bigger name, and it's because he has the war chest behind him, right?
Yeah.
And so many of his competitors over the past decade haven't had a a presence to combat his presence, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So that's kind of how I've been going about it. It's been a lot of mix of, yes, in the district, but I'm also very present in DC.
So when you first started creating content, you were just making like Black history educational type of content?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And commenting on political happenings, updating people on what the current administration is up to
Yeah.
and doing. Because there's, as far as loud as they are, they're also very sneaky, and so
Hmm.
I've been really good at finding out the things that they're doing under people's noses and bringing them to light,
Yeah.
which is another big part of my content creating.
Hmm. Yeah. They make noise because they're sneaky. You know,
Bingo.
they say, look here, and then they're like robbing the bank over there.
Correct. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And and I don't understand how people who like the person that you're going to be running against. I don't understand how they continue to trick people into the silliness that is their belief system, and they think that they're going to make things better for normal people, you know?
It's it's beyond me. The whole point of having a representative is for that person to represent you, right?
Yeah.
But Rick Allen is 74 years old. Average age of constituent in the district is 38. I will be 32 in a couple weeks. So that in and of itself is a huge difference. It doesn't matter if he was a Democrat, doesn't matter Republican, Libertarian,
Mhm.
Independent. If you have an average of about 40 years between yourself and the people you're supposed to represent, 9 times out of 10, you're going to
It might
miss
be
something
time.
important to the people that you're supposed to
Yeah,
represent.
it might be time.
It might be time. Like, that's a whole lifetime. Like, you
I
know,
think it was Reed. I can't. I always have a hard time remembering. Reed is running for Congress in Chicago.
you
He said,
read Showalter? Is that?
Showalter, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reed Showalter. He said, go play with your grandkids.
I say that all the time. I'm like, Mr. Allen, don't you have like golf to go play? It's Augusta. Y'all love golf.
You know, give me
Look,
the
that's where the
opportunity
Masters is.
to play in Augusta, see how crazy I get.
Right. Like, go play golf, go hang out with the grandkids, go sit on the front porch and rock in a rocking chair like us Southerners love to do. Do something other than sit in DC for another 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, and it's also suspicious. He started a contracting business when he was young, but when he got into politics, that transferred ownership, not sold, transferred ownership. His wife is the owner. His son runs it, and it's a multi-million-dollar company with locations across the Southeast.
Yeah.
Who also just recently signed a contracting deal for like $21 million for hangar in the Augusta airport. Um, and you look at his voting history on things like defunding OSHA. I wonder why someone with a family owning a huge contracting business would benefit from defunding OSHA. Hmm. Hmm. It's like, do they
My-
think that their voting history isn't public? They know it is, but they know
yeah.
people aren't paying attention. But hi, how are you? I'm paying attention.
You know what? That's a really good point. Or a really good point, whatever. Um, when people say checking their voting records and their voting records are public, how can people follow up on that?
Yes, there's a few different ways. There's tons of different websites. Um, I like CongressForDummies.com with like,
Mm-hmm.
like the For Dummies books. Congress for Dummies is a good one. They do a lot of charts and a lot of simple ways to look at what your representative is doing and how they're moving. One recently that I've found is freedomindex.us. They are right leaning. However, the data is still decent. They do a really, really good job of breaking down what your elected official has been voting on by category. So,
Mm.
for example, if I pull up Rick Allen's profile on freedomindex.us, it'll tell me all the Congress he's been in. So that like we're in the 119th. So, do the math. He's been there for 10 years, been in quite a few. Um, so it'll show, you can pull down a list of each congressional year that he's voted in, the percentage of votes, where he's voted, the categories, things like education, things like Medicaid. They all have it parsed out.
Mm.
So that's a really good resource as well. But I don't really like promoting Google because Google, I think, is compromised right now.
Mm.
DuckDuckGo is a good resource. So look up your representative's name and look up the words roll call.
Mm.
So like Rick Allen, voter roll call, vote roll call, and it should pull up the last votes that he's made. And there are resources on saying the lifetime voting history as well. So that is one of the major things that I think is really important. And freedomindex.us is also good about putting the actual dollar amount of how much it has cost or benefited the constituent. So
Mm-hmm. See, I think it's important for folks because we can't really trust the government. I think it's important for just normal people to be able to take a look at facts and where they can find the facts because the government and certain administrations, one of them that is currently operating, is proving to us that we cannot take their word for it.
oh yeah, no.
And so we need the tools to be able to follow up with them and hold their feet to the fire. You
Mhm.
said you were going to fix this. Why does your voting record continue to show that you are voting against it?
Like, if I see Cory Booker post one more video talking about we got to do something, sir, you are Congress.
Yeah, we gave
You
you
have
the
to do something.
keys.
Like, and Hakeem Jeffries,
Don't get me
all he
started on
don't
him.
even get me started. He loves going on the internet talking about, oh yeah, Trump's got to go. Screw that guy. But you vote for him to stay exactly where he is every chance you get.
Right,
Like, so we need to hold them accountable. And you're right,
right.
finding the right sources to do that. And like I said, I don't trust Google like I used to. So DuckDuckGo,
Hmm.
and look at international news sources. If you want actual
Yeah,
ears on what's going on in Iran,
yeah.
suggest Al Jazeera. They do minute by minute
They have
updates.
it. They have Al
Don't
Jazeera
rely on us.
English. Yep, they have Al Jazeera English on YouTube.
Mhm.
Go and check it out.
Yep.
And even if, because I know people are going to Al Jazeera, that's blah 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 blah. Listen, when your enemies are talking about you behind your back, you want to know what the hell they're saying.
Correct. Exactly.
It doesn't get any
Exactly.
harder than that.
Exactly. Exactly. And like I said, they do provide minute by minute updates in a way that a lot of sources here are not doing.
Yeah.
So again, if you want to actually know what's going on internationally, you have to look at international sources. We aren't
Mm-hmm.
getting the truth here. I
Right.
always tell people, Miss American propaganda. Can I curse on here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I always tell people Miss American propaganda is the hardest working bitch I know. She is the hardest working
No
bitch I
days
know.
off.
No days off. She works 25/8. She is always working. She is putting in overtime hours. My girl is putting in work.
Mm-hmm.
But, and that's by design.
Right.
That's part of the reason that goes right back to the conversation about a lack of education. It's American propaganda. You have companies like the Daughters of the Confederacy who literally are responsible for pushing out the textbook that miseducated people like Trump and his parents. And then you have
Mm-hmm.
the Moms of Liberty who just took that torch and carried it on.
Yeah.
Being miseducated and anti-intellectual is just as on brand as being American as apple pie. And
Yeah.
that's so unfortunate, but that's the truth. And you see attacks on history. You see attacks on certain parts of museums, namely Black history. Quote,
Mm-hmm.
history that makes America look bad. Well, newsflash, if
Y'all
the
made America
history
look bad.
y'all made it right. If the history that you're consuming is only fluffy, feel good history, it ain't history. It's a fantasy movie. Like,
Right.
it's not real,
Right.
right? It's just not real. And this whole idea is so dangerous about we can only consume things that make America look good when
Right.
America needs to be held accountable just like any other place.
Right.
Is how you get this crazy call to nationalism that you see. There's a reason for this, which is also, again, by design, American propaganda. But this goes into endless loops and circles that all end up back to the same place, which is the miseducation of a population.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a direct descendant of Carter G. Woodson, who is the father of Black history. And his most popular work was The Miseducation of the Negro. And it is literally about how America, on purpose, miseducated the Negro into thinking that they were less than, into thinking that they could not compare to the white man, and how that was used collectively on a group of people to keep us stagnant. And you'd look at that, take that from the micro and put it to the macro of American society, that same kind of idea, and you look at it. A population that is uneducated is a population controlled. You
Mm-hmm.
you you see it in full effect right now.
Right. Right. They have a bunch of folks convinced that it's okay to be out here at a fifth and sixth grade reading level.
Yeah.
And it's not, y'all. It is not.
It's not.
You have to, like, reading and learning about history and just learning about things in general is just so beneficial. And traveling and experiencing and get out from whatever weird little bubble you have going on.
Say, baby, I need you to leave West Virginia. I need you to get out of the holler. Like,
Please,
please.
please
Please, you don't
come
have to
hang
leave
out with me
forever.
so I can show you that all brown kids are not bad. We're
And
going to
and
have a
that's
great time.
right there. That is the difference between miseducation and education is tolerance.
Right,
Tolerance breeds education, because it's like education breeds tolerance and vice versa, because what we see is rooted in fear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a therapist in residency, so I talk a lot about things from a clinical perspective, and I do a lot of work from the neuroscience perspective. Um, so when we're talking about how the brain functions, the amygdala controls your fear outputs, and studies have actually shown conservative right-leaning people, MAGA, have an overactive amygdala because people like Fox News prey on their fears.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were actually educated and had experience and exposure, they would be more tolerant because they would understand that they have nothing to be scared of.
Right.
So they are actively being honestly brainwashed with
Mm-hmm.
fear, and their brains are overworking, always constantly in fear. Like, oh my gosh, they're taking over, they're gonna hurt us, and it's like, who told you that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? One of the most common things I hear is they're just walking all over talking Spanish. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you
But
okay?
hey,
Why is that
let me
scary to you?
let me break something down for you guys. I'm originally from Chicago. We speak English there. I have gone to the South. I don't
We
know
don't
what
speak
you guys
English.
I don't know what you guys speak. I don't understand whatever the hell it is that you guys are saying. So should we kick you out of the country?
And that's a great point because you look at especially places like Louisiana, there are people who were born in the swamps of Louisiana who speak Cajun Creole before they ever speak English. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know what they this. I know people that have never left Appalachia. They don't speak the same English as me and you. I promise you. I
Yeah.
promise you.
Like what?
So this whole argument about who speaks English and I can't understand them is just nonsense.
Yeah.
It's just I wish that we were just more comfortable and further along as a society. Baby, if you want to just say you just don't like people of color, just say that. It's a lot less
Please.
words.
Yeah.
It's a lot less words.
Yeah. And listen, if you don't want me there, I don't want to be there.
Right. Right. Exactly. Like I'm not
Unless it's a place where I want to be, and then you got to push.
right, exactly. And then you just have to deal with it.
Yeah. Get
But
out of here
it's
with
it's
that.
this fragmenting of society based off of who is perceived as dangerous is again a propagandized tool. Like
Yeah.
because if we actually look at the FBI stats of who's dangerous, it's not anybody who looks like me or you. And I'll
Hello.
just leave it at that. You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
I mean, like look at the East Files. Who's in there the most?
Uh, done. Done. Like, hey, let's say it like this: powerful people that do not have your best interest in mind.
I don't know why. I hope no one takes offense to this, but if you do, maybe it'll wake you up. But you have 6 teeth. People with 6 teeth defending people with 6 yachts. It'll never make sense.
16th, and four of them in there in the pocket.
It'll just never make sense. And it's just a basic of logic. Like, even to our local congressmen, right? Like the average salary for Congress is what it's sitting at 174,000 a year.
Yeah.
Our congressmen get paid 174K. And that doesn't include any kind of bundlers they get. It doesn't include any of that, right? So it's like you add on my incumbent who has a multi-million-dollar family contracting business on top of that. Do you think that man even knows how much eggs or milk costs in a grocery store, let
Or even
alone the actual
cares.
struggles of
Even
what
if
you're
he
going through?
did, do you think he cares? Do you think he cares that you can afford it?
Exactly.
Him and his family are
Exactly.
getting their bag.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like, we need to do a better job of electing people that represent the actual community, the actual marginalized, because there are more marginalized than there are comfortable people in this country. And that it's obvious. And we need to
Mm-hmm.
stop voting for people that further that gap.
Right. And stop falling for that trickle down trick. It's a trick. That's the
The only
only
trickle
thing
down
it
effect,
is.
the only trickle down effect that actually works is when we flip it and we take care of the most marginalized.
Yep.
So if the weakest of us are the sickest of us, the poorest of us are taken care of, the rest of us will be.
Yeah.
That's the only one that
That's
would
how it
actually
works.
work.
If you have a consumer based economy, you need as many consumers as possible. And stop letting people tell you what you're allowed.
Mhm.
Go get go
100%.
get your bag.
Mhm.
Demand your representatives, demand the people that are in charge to do what it takes to make you successful, give you all the tools to become successful.
Right, because Rick Allen recently voted to defund OSHA, but Georgia is still one of the lowest paying states in the country. If we did not have the federal rate of 7.25, Georgia's minimum wage is $5.15.
Sweet baby Jesus.
We don't even have a state minimum wage. We still rely on $7.25 an hour as a baseline for minimum wage here. And if it weren't for that, people will be getting paid $5.15 an hour in this state.
Ugh.
But we're defunding OSHA.
Yeah. Let's talk about your educational background.
Yeah.
You said that you're go ahead and give us the rundown of why
Yeah.
you're so
So
intelligent and well spoken
I read too
and
much.
you have way more than 6 teeth.
I do. I have all of mine actually. Um, and they're all mine. I grew myself. Um, but so I have a bachelor's of science in human resources. I am wrapping up my master's in clinical mental health counseling.
Ooh.
Only thing I have left to do is take my licensing exam for my associate license.
Mhm.
So I work in the substance use space. So yeah, always been very education focused. My family put a lot of stock into making sure my sister and I were well educated. I
Mhm.
grew up in private schools. I grew up homeschooled. So
Awesome. It makes a
yeah,
difference. It
it
makes a
helps.
difference. Let me explain to folks that might be watching this video. I come from Chicago public schools. I can show you a video where there's a young lady talking about how uh, 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 probably I think this video is from like right around the early 2000s. But the young lady was talking about how they didn't have enough money for a librarian, so they closed the library down in my
Mm.
old high school. Now, through my career, one of the stops was at a high school in the rich kid neighborhood. They had computers in every class. They had these huge computer labs, 5 computer labs that I was supervising at night and all this stuff. You can't tell me that the education system doesn't need help,
No,
especially
it's.
if you're going to public schools.
I am so staunchly for pushing education, and how education looks for each individual is different. Like, I'm not one of those people. Just because I have 8 letters behind my last name doesn't mean everybody else needs to. I
Yeah,
would never just blindly push college across everyone, because we saw how that happened,
right.
and it's not the
It's
thing.
not for
But
everybody.
But, opportunities for education should be pushed. Like, we need more trade schools. We need more
Hmm.
internship opportunities. We need more paid internship opportunities, paid apprenticeship opportunities. Um, you know, I am not one of those people who thinks that I don't have privilege. I know I might have not have privilege in other aspects, like hello, but
Hmm.
I do have privilege when you talk about education. Oh yeah, 100%. That's not lost on me. It is not lost on me that I was exposed to things that very many people will never in their entire life as far as education goes. And that's not lost on me, that that's a privilege. And education is not something that should be only for a certain tax bracket, only
Hmm.
for a certain person, a certain state. Like, it should be everyone. Everyone should be accessible to education. And so it really, really bothers me to see this attack on education, because like you said, there are schools that are shutting down, schools that don't even have libraries. And I was one of those kids. I was reading at a college level in the second grade, which is why I process the way I do now, but I had access to certain things.
Hmm.
And if people don't have access to it, they will stay stagnant. We will
Hmm.
remain grossly and largely uneducated.
Yep.
We have to do something about it.
And the connection to the knowledge, I think, is a purposeful blockade. The powers that be block us from having all of this information that where we can learn because they can control the situation better. They might not be, they may, in different situations, they might not be directly affecting you and trying to control you, but they're definitely controlling your ability to get to information,
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
know? And if they can tell you, if they can say America's the best, we're the smartest and the richest country. Meanwhile, we have so many homeless and so many hungry, so many sick, so many struggling.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
you're
I mean,
seeing it with you're seeing it with your eyes.
oh yeah, walking around DC, is. I was just in DC this past weekend for an event and leaving a restaurant, a man sleeping in the cold and the rain. And it's like, we are supposed to be the greatest country on earth in my nation's capital. Why are people sleeping on the street hungry?
Right.
It's just, it makes zero sense. We love talking about other third world countries. And I'm like, do you think we're not one just because we got some pretty roads?
Yeah, we got a country. We got third world country like towns and cities around here.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Areas.
you look at that place, I think it's somewhere in PA, Kensington.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Kensington, PA?
Mm-mm.
People are doing the Finny lean on the street. You cannot walk down a street in Kensington, PA without seeing like groups of people that are in active addiction. But that's also something the administration cut too.
See, but then
Studies
they
for
talk about
substance use.
San Francisco because this is a heavily blue area. And yeah, we have junkies and stuff like that, but at least I don't know if Kensington has robots that goes around cleaning up the streets after people doing whatever they're doing. I
Definitely
don't know if
not.
they have that in Kensington, but we have
Definitely
that in
not.
San Francisco. But then they're going to be talking trash about San Francisco,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, and it's like, as a substance use therapist, I can see how much substance using is going on in the administration. I
Hmm.
literally see it with my own eyes, and it the stigma that is around that and offering this demographic of people in our country help. Meanwhile, if you have a certain tax bracket, it's acceptable because you can put
Yeah.
your substance in a fancy gold container. It's the
Yep.
same substance.
It's the same substance.
I'm talking about you, Henny Hegseth.
And all them Trump boys, especially the oldest one, that man,
Yeah,
he is
they they
strung out.
they rub their gums in interviews and like in
Yeah,
public
like, boy, why
spaces.
are your teeth so itchy?
Mr. Rubio, this one's for you too. I have a 8-week, substance use guy. Hit me up, sirs, if you need me.
For real. Yeah, it's time to send you to office. Cause yeah, we got some therapy to get to.
We do. We do.
We
And that's another part of a huge part of my campaign is mental health. We have the worst rates of mental health, some of the worst. Like it's
yeah,
insane. It's absolutely insane. But I will say it's one of the last things on the hill that actually is bipartisan. It's something that both sides are seeing, which I'm thankful for. I wish we were more honest about the mental health needs of the current administration, but whatever. Um, but
he's proof that we need the facilities back.
something is wrong. Something is so wrong. But it's the cuts that we're seeing in these policies, in the budgets and the funding, they directly affect so many of our American people.
Yeah,
And it just drives this whole entire narrative that the only people worthy of care are people who can pay for it, and that's just horseshit.
yeah, yeah.
It's just horseshit.
I look at it like this: if I go into whatever town, whatever, and I see there's junkies there, and I see that it's just not flowing as properly, like the people that live there just aren't motivated, whatever the case, whatever. You have to take a look at fixing the environment. So when you go into those areas, it's not that bad, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
I can
Harm
take you to West
reduction.
Side. I can take you to West Side of Chicago, and show you some wild things. I can take you into San Francisco, into some of the areas there. But sitting and complaining about it and pointing your finger at the people, it's
Hmm.
obvious they need help.
Hmm.
And if you want to make things better, so who was it? Caitlyn Jenner was complaining about the homeless people when she was driving to the airport. but yet
You have
you
enough
don't
money to
want to
fix it.
all you do is complain.
Yeah,
All
and
you
it's
do
just
is complain.
I couldn't imagine, and I think so many of our elected politicians have this problem too, is looking at a certain demographic of people and looking at them as a problem instead of an opportunity to help.
Right.
It's wild. Like,
Knowing that if you pick up that community, they're going to help the economy. Anyone with a little bit extra money, they're going to want to open up a restaurant. They're going to want to
mhm,
open up a store. They're going to want to open up a grocery store. They're going to want to open up anything, but they just don't have the resources.
mhm,
And now you
and
can't
that's
go into that. Now you can't go into that part of town because it's dangerous.
right, exactly, and that's part of, one of my concerns about my district is it's made up of a lot of rural areas,
Hmm.
and rural areas end up not getting the attention and support that they need because people leave them because opportunity is not being established there.
Yeah.
Right. And that goes on into the conversation of what are we doing to help communities in need? How are we incentivizing small businesses to stay exactly where they are?
Right.
How are we helping those immediate community needs? Because rural areas tend to have lots of substance use, lots of drinking, because people are not well.
Yeah.
Poverty is a direct pipeline to substance use.
Hmm.
100%.
100%. I don't want to
Like,
live in this reality. It's hard. It sucks. I don't have any opportunities. I don't have a library. I don't have internet. I don't have a
mhm,
phone. I can't pay all these things. Of course, I'm going to do drugs because why
right.
not?
And the infamous words of Tupac, we got money for wars, we can't feed the poor. It's insane.
I'm telling you. Uh, what's going on in Georgia 12? What are some of the big concerns that you want to address specifically for Georgia 12?
Yeah, I just wanna make sure the rural counties in the district are getting what they need. Um, it's interesting just driving through the district and the rural communities and just seeing how much actual space there is for opportunity and growth, but just a lack of attention, right?
Yeah.
You know, food deserts are a personal interest of mine. I Wellness, overall human wellness is it's just as important as your mental, your physical is what you consume. And
Hmm.
we are a country full of dyed food, fried food,
Yeah.
fake food. And then you have these pockets all over the district that can't even access good food. I've lived in a food desert before. I've lived in a place where it took me a 30-mile drive one way just to get to a grocery store. And it's a damage to the community. You have so many people what about our elderly who can't get there?
Yeah.
What about the poor who can't even pay for the groceries once they do get there? And so a lot of the concern for me in the district is how are rural communities being supported? Because I look at things from the outside in. If we support those rural communities, obviously our bigger cities like Augusta, Richmond County, Statesboro, where the colleges are, they have more support because of what they are,
Mhm.
right? And so if we look at it from the inside in, I think there's so much focus on those bigger areas because they're the hubs that the smaller areas aren't being talked about enough. So that's
Mhm.
my one of my main focuses.
Yeah. Rural folks, I love them because they are connected to nature. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I love
Rural
living in
folk.
rural Georgia. It's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah. Me too. I live in rural California. I live in wine country. And these folks, it's farmers um and the folks that help the farmers.
Yes, we need them. They're such the backbone of America, but we're often so they're forgotten. But like
Mhm.
I don't think we don't talk about the farmers enough anymore and how we actually do need them. We are such a fast-paced consumerist society that
Mhm.
we're generally not paying attention to the lines of where things come from to how we
Mhm.
get here. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right. And these are the folks that are doing important work. They're growing your food. And if it's
Mhm.
not necessary, and I understand, oh, we grow soybeans here. Yes, I understand. But those soybeans go to market, they make money,
Yes.
we trade to get more food and all the things, right? And not just that, but farmers are helping us understand what we're doing to the climate as well,
Mhm.
and to our
Yeah, we need to
soil and
listen to the
depleting
farmers.
soil. Yes.
Yes, listen to the farmers, because if you actually look at how farmers vote, it's not how most people would assume. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just not.
They're more environmentalists than you think.
They have to be.
They have to be. They are connected to nature.
Mhm.
They
And you
are
see,
directly connected to nature.
the current administration is not helping our farmers. It's like they have zero respect for,
No.
especially our beef farmers.
Let's talk about that because this is fun. Um did you did you see how a lot of farmers are losing their farms in middle America, and JD Vance, the vice president, JD Vance, has stock or ownership in some one of these Airbnb for
Oh,
farmer things?
Acre Trader, which is also, what is that man's name? Peter Thiel also
Yeah.
has invested in Acre Trader, and Acre Trader has been tracked to buying up a lot of these farms that we're seeing bankrupted under this current administration. Why are we land grabbing so hard?
Mhm.
I'm curious to know, why are we land grabbing like this?
And this isn't new, cuz old
No,
boy Microsoft,
Bill Gates?
yeah, in the e-files. He's been doing this too. He's been land grabbing too.
Mhm.
He's been secretive about it.
Like, I used to live in Hawaii. I lived on the island of Kauai, and the
Oh,
amount
I love Kauai.
of it's so pretty. The
Mhm.
amount of land Facebook boy has, though,
Right? Between him and
Zuckerberg.
Oprah, it's a wrap.
Like, he damn near owns all of North Shore. Hey, 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 old dog. That's my old man. Teddy, Teddy, come here. Get out of there. He's grumpy. He's 14. He's a
Yeah.
grumpy boy. He's just my grumpy boy.
Yeah. I got two. What kind of dog is your dog?
I have an Australian Shepherd Blue Heeler. I have a
Oh,
Rottie
beautiful.
Mix and a Lab Chow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, big dogs.
Nice. Yeah. I have two Havanese. They're about
Oh,
15 pounds apiece.
they're so cute. I
It's
love
like
Havanese.
I'll be walking the neighborhood, my big ass and my two little dogs. People are like, "Oh, careful. They're gonna come get you."
No,
Mm-hmm.
I like my big dogs.
Yeah.
Havanese are
Yeah.
really cute though.
Yeah, they are.
Go lay down.
That's where I am in my life. I'm at the speed of a Havanese. I'm feisty, but it takes me a minute to get there.
Valid. That's fair. That's very fair. That is very, very fair.
Was there one specific thing that um that triggered your run for Congress?
Yeah, yes and no. I think, just seeing what happened with the Hyundai plant definitely was a catalyst, but beyond that, it's just a series of moments and just paying attention to what the administration was doing.
Yeah.
And, just Congress is quiet, Congress is asleep, it seems. And it wasn't enough for me to keep to keep creating content. Like, I needed something more tangible. I
Mhm.
needed to get my boots on the ground, if you will.
Mhm.
So that was pretty much it. Just like this feeling like I can't, of course I'm gonna keep making my videos and informing
Mhm.
people, but it also just wasn't enough for me personally.
Yeah. So then once you get the seat and you're in there, like what do you expect? Are you going to keep doing the social media stuff?
I
What's
don't know
your
how
like
that looks.
what are you expecting to happen once you get into office?
I don't know how that looks. I do think there would be some sort of like expectation for me to continue on, because transparency has been such a huge part
Yeah.
of this, and I don't think there's ever been a member of Congress that creates content. Um, but
AOC might be the closest one.
I think AOC and Crockett might be the
Oh
closest
yeah,
ones,
Jasmine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So I'd be curious too to see how that looks. I haven't made a complete plan. It's not a yay or nay yet, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can see where that's beneficial. And I understand that you're gonna be under, different restrictions with your secret whatever. Um, so I know that you're not going to be able to come out here and be like, "Oh my God, we got to get ready because Iran is going to blah 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 blah." I know you can't just come out running into the streets saying that stuff,
No, no, no.
but I think it's helpful to maintain that relationship with folks.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah,
I take it very, very seriously that so many people look to me as a resource and as someone who is going to speak up and speak honestly about what's going on. So I don't take that lightly whatsoever. Whatsoever.
yeah. What was it like growing up in Atlanta for you? Because
Well, actually,
I was telling you earlier, like I've gone on this run with interviews from people from Atlanta, and it feels like there's a magic something that's happening there, and it's not Magic City.
well, Georgia is just different. I mean,
Yeah,
people don't realize you don't get to the White House without running through Georgia first. Like you just don't.
yeah.
There's no such reality. Um, but as far as growing up, I actually grew up in Alpharetta, Georgia. Um, and that was actually Senator Ossoff's first position. He was my representative, one of the first people I ever voted for, and I finally got to meet him a few weeks ago. He was my congressman. Um, so I grew up in Alpharetta, Georgia, which is one of the wealthier suburbs just outside of Atlanta.
Mhm,
Um, and when I got older, I moved away to Colorado for a few years, moved to Hawaii for a year. Then I moved to Atlanta for about a year and a half, and then relocated to North Georgia-ish area. And
mhm,
I've been there. I've been around this area since. So
mhm.
um, I love growing up in Georgia in general. Just
Yeah,
there's so much diversity, so much opportunity, so many beautiful people and cultures just are celebrated here. It's a beautiful place to be. I love Georgia. I
yeah.
mean, I left Hawaii to come back to Georgia, so obviously.
I mean, I mean, I
I
was gonna
mean,
tell you, I was gonna. This is what's funny. I was gonna say, yeah, but the humidity there, and then you're like,
it's
and
rough.
I lived in Hawaii. I was like, oh, you're fine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm used to really warm, humid weather. I'm not a
Moist.
stranger to it. Yeah. Yeah.
How
Like
bad are
yesterday
the?
it was almost 80 degrees already and it's March. It's like yeah.
Yeah, here it was 74.
Oh, that's nice. That's perfect weather.
Yeah, yeah,
It's perfect.
yeah. Yeah, the past couple weeks here have been beautiful, but when we get our rainy season, man, it rains for like 3 months almost straight.
Oof, that's brutal.
Yeah, and you're just like, please, I just want to go for a walk.
Just want some sunshine.
The Havanese start getting rowdy. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
I
you
bet.
need exercise. Please stop
I
raining.
bet. I bet.
That's cool though. Atlanta. And then I know that Atlanta specifically, well, no, Georgia made a big move on making movies and TV series and stuff like that. Your creativity out there has just like, it has made a positive dent in the
But
movie industry.
we lost Marvel.
Oh, well,
Yeah, Marvel
there's
left
that.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Marvel, but because of current administration's tariffs and changes and the economy, they got a better deal in the UK, so they packed up and left a few months ago.
Boy.
Mhm.
And this is the guy that that was running on being a businessman.
America first, right?
America first.
America
And that's not
first.
just them. Like, do you know that Radio Flyer, the wagons, they're not made here anymore? And that was an American company. Harley Davidson is made, I think, in China somewhere now.
Not Harley.
Yeah, Harley is not made in Milwaukee anymore. If they do, they might make three of them. But yeah, um, what other kind of industry is out there before besides peaches? You know,
We actually,
Justin Bieber told me about that.
Florida actually has more peaches than we do. It's just our fruit.
Yeah,
They have more
you guys
peaches.
you guys picked it.
Um, Cotton's still big out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, it's not king anymore like it was back in the day, but the cotton industry didn't go anywhere. We still have cotton fields all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's wild? I was driving. I've driven around the entire United States 2, 3 times over. Um, and driving through, I think it was Texas. I was driving through cotton farms,
Mhm.
the roads of a cotton farms, and it looks like a damn blizzard when the wind is blowing and all the cotton is running through the streets.
Mhm.
You're like, what in the hell is happening?
Mhm. Yeah, cotton has never left the South. Never left the South. It's still here. Just a
Yeah.
lot more quiet, you know. It's a lot more quiet when people aren't picking it for you. So
Do they have machines and stuff, or do they still
Mhm.
have like people running
They
around?
use machines.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Huh. See?
Yep.
Like, and that's another thing. And I'm not even gonna joke around about that. But technology is taking jobs at rapid pace.
Oh, yeah.
And all these data centers that are going in everywhere, you guys,
And
this AI thing
the thing is that
is
people don't realize those data centers are, you know, I've heard some of the conservative right-wing argument be, "Oh, the data centers are gonna bring jobs." No, they don't.
they
Like,
don't.
a million square
The
foot data
three
center
jobs
facility
that
will
it's
bring you, like, 20, 30 jobs. Per
yeah,
1,000,000 square feet, you only get 20 jobs?
right.
That's crazy.
And
That's
you're
not
killing
bringing
thousands
jobs.
of jobs.
Exactly, that's not bringing jobs anywhere.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I wouldn't even care. This is a perfect situation to explain to people why you need to um, invest in education and healthcare and all that stuff. Jobs are leaving, so you need healthcare because there are no jobs. The only reason I have healthcare is because I go to the VA.
mhm,
So now you're going to have, let's just say they figure out how to cool all of these processors down and they're not going to use up all the fresh water. That's a thing. Let's say that they figured that out. Let's say that they figured everything out. All these jobs are still leaving.
exactly.
So why wouldn't you expect your government to invest in education so you can learn a new trade or something new that you can do? But
Exactly.
no, but no, there's so many people. Uh, According to the election, half the people think that you should pull yourself up by the bootstraps, even though you don't have anything.
And then the people who say that damn phrase the most don't even realize that historically, it was meant to make fun of the people who say that, because if you physically try to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, it's impossible.
You fall. Yeah.
You fall. That's the whole
I mean,
point.
if you try really hard, you will
That's the
fall.
whole
Otherwise, you
point.
don't move. You don't move. It's physics impossibility.
You know what? You said physics, that requires school. So
You know what I'm saying? So it's wild. And I have a cousin who is, believe it or not, I have a cousin who's like hardcore MAGA. My guy is Cuban AF and he's MAGA. And he thinks that, I've worked in Silicon Valley and now
mhm.
all these jobs have been going overseas. So I hung in for as long as I could. And now he's sharing videos and links to things that say, "Oh, look at all these tech white collar people and blah blah blah, and they're losing their jobs. Meanwhile, all us blue collar guys who are builders and doing all this stuff." I said, number one, you don't think I can come take your job? Because not only am I going to build porches and do dumb shit, but I'm also going to help your boss run his company. So I can come and take your job.
I can indeed, yes. But people,
Secondly,
I often get that threat too. They tell you, especially MAGA comments on my video, "Oh, your job is easily had." You go out and get a clinical degree, and you let me know how that goes for you.
yeah,
You let
yeah,
me know
yeah,
who's going to
exactly.
replace
Go to
me.
school. There's your first challenge: is go to school.
Let me know how that master's works out for you.
And then the second thing I tell them is, in San Francisco, we have robots that clean the streets. We have
Yes.
robots that it's not Uber anymore. It's a robot. And I can show you where Elon and all these knuckleheads are working on machines that will build houses.
Oh yeah.
So they're coming for your job too, smarty.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. And the difference is I love education. I love learning, and I'm going to continue to learn.
Oh yeah. I'm not done after this.
You're going to
I'm gonna go to law school.
complain.
Yeah.
You're going to complain and you're going to bitch about all these people who are stealing your jobs.
Well, that's part of, when I go into live spaces and I talk to MAGA, one of the things that I often hear is that they're upset that someone's taking their job. And I'm like, I literally had someone tell me, I would rather just get brown people out because I'm not planning on working harder than I'm already working just because they are. It's like, oh, so you want to rest? So you want to rest in mediocrity instead of learning, educating, and getting better at your job. You want to kick people out so that you can be lazy. Got it.
Yeah, because they're ruining your curve,
Got
your
it.
bell
Got
curve.
it.
Come
Got it.
on,
Got it. Got
son.
it. Is that not wild?
When I tell you people vote against their own self-interest, these are the things. Like I love talking to you guys because I get to explain things and I get to ask you guys to explain things,
Yeah.
and I make sure that certain people get certain clips because you guys need to learn. We
Yeah. It's just the general lack of awareness that is pushed because of propaganda and miseducation and anti-intellectualism is something that we're going to actually spend years and years unraveling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we're going to
Not to
have to put in
mention,
so much work to counteract this
yeah,
because it's just the basics of like, why do you take everything that your government says at face value? I was just at City
right.
Hall Monday night and, the MAGA people showed up and we're talking about a potential detention facility here. The majority of us don't want that here, but the few people that did show up talked about how dangerous the streets were, and they talked about how um, jobs and how Biden let 30 million illegals in. I'm like, who taught you how to research something? Like, did you just go on your Facebook news and then like
Someone sent you a meme.
and you took that as fact without like who told you that? Because it's categorically not true.
Yeah.
It's just not, and it's so hard even having these conversations with combating it because when you do have these conversations, it's just a pushback. Oh, you just hate Trump or you just hate MAGA. It's like, I mean, yeah, but that's besides the point. The
Right.
information's not true. It's just not the truth. And so
Right.
you have all these people developing wild opinions and political ideologies based off of entire lies and misinformation.
Hmm.
And it's exhausting.
And again, like going back to the point that you said was, I don't want to work harder than I need to. And that's like gathering information and dissecting all the bullshit that's coming out of Washington.
Uh-huh.
Because let me tell you, this administration has installed PTSD into this country that we're not going to be able to shake anytime soon.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't know about you, but I don't trust government right now.
Oh no, I mean,
As a brown person,
and to be
watching people
honest, we
that
should
look
have.
like me getting jacked up, and then you guys are
Oh
shooting
yeah,
nice white ladies in the middle of the street.
listen, I told people once, "Oh, we're shooting white people in the face now. We're in trouble. Like,
We in trouble,
we are
trouble.
in trouble, trouble." And people are like, "Huh?" And I said, "Did you hear what I said? They're killing white people in the streets and in front of everybody,
Yeah.
like they would kill me or you. We're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. And
We're in
then
trouble."
again, I remind people I'm from Chicago. I grew up watching police beating up black and brown people.
My husband is from Tinley Park, so
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yep,
That's a
yep, yep,
nice
yep.
area.
Mhm.
Yeah. And just the PTSD alone is, we have to get past this. We have to get past this and remember how we felt after 9/11. Remember? Everyone was holding hands and everyone, people in New York were friendly as shit. Like,
Nice for once.
yeah, yeah. And like, Americans had a little bit more grace and a little bit more patience for each other.
Mhm.
And now you guys let this gorilla come in here and ruin all of it.
You know, I watched a video of a man pretending to be, he was just MAGA, pretending to be ICE and walked into a restaurant and put a brown man in a chokehold talking about, I'm arresting you. He wasn't law enforcement of
He
any
wasn't.
kind. Like, are we okay?
He was a security guard, nothing. He
Not
just
not badge of
citizens
any kind.
arrest. Like, if you don't
Citizens
get your
were
ass
like
off me.
just insanity. And this is what the administration has brought on. And this is what people are thinking is normal and acceptable. Uh, uh, hello. And you know, it's the amount of, I'm gonna call all the conservative MAGA right leaning people about these damn guns, right?
Yeah,
Y'all will walk around Georgia with a gun on your damn hip. But as soon as words Alex Pretty comes out of someone's mouth, oh, he shouldn't have brought his gun. Which one is it? You believe
right,
in your 2A rights or do you not?
right. Or
Which one?
did you see the video where it was Carlos Alvarez Araños? He's a bit of a rabble rouser. He's been on the channel. Um
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm familiar with Carlos,
yeah, he's energetic. And
to say the least.
he's walking with a, I want to say Black Panther, but my guy had like a full machine
Mhm.
gun and he had the magazines on the side walking next to Carlos, right? And then everybody had an issue that he was in an open carry state and he was open carrying.
Well, they
And
want
I don't know if he was like
this is only allowed to open carry. I'm not.
that, yeah. So if you have
But that's how it's always
vitiligo,
collectively been, though. Even like the Black Panthers historically were some of the first people, one of the first groups to actually say, hey, no, we have 2A rights and we're going to express them. It has
mm-hmm,
always been a problem when Black people have expressed their 2A rights, and the Black Panthers
mm-hmm,
proved it back then and they proved it because I did see that
yet
video.
again,
They proved it again.
mm-hmm.
It's never about the 2A rights, it's about who has them.
Who has them? Yep,
It's about who.
yep.
And because,
And
I
that
mean,
goes for
honestly, who's been the most irresponsible with them in the history of this country?
and that goes for everything. Everyone can have a gun until black and brown people get it. Everyone can have an education until black and brown people get it. Everyone can have a house until black and brown people get it.
I mean, you look at the history of social networks and social services, social programs in this country. We
Mm-hmm.
had them. We had free education. We had free stuff. We had free all stuff. But up until the Civil Rights Act, when Black
Mm-hmm.
and brown people could get access to stuff, that's when it's like, oh no, free nothing.
Yeah.
Like they were willing
Well,
to
you
bite
guys
their
are
own
welfare
foot.
queens. But wait, for hundreds of years, you've been doing the same thing.
And
Hundreds.
you know, the statistics show that the majority of people on welfare are white women.
Mm-hmm.
So,
With baby daddies
but
that
welfare
probably
queen.
have other kids that probably have other kids over there.
It's just it's and that is the danger of propaganda, you know?
Right.
That's the danger of propaganda, and that's why we see the same damn conversation in this country over and over and over and over and over and over. Oh, Black
Mm-hmm.
people are violent, Black on Black crime, welfare queen. When it's like the only reason those stereotypes exist is because the mirror was on y'all and you wanted to turn it around.
Right.
That's the only reason why. Because crime happens, it doesn't happen in vacuum, but interpersonal crime happens in a vacuum. Race on race crime is all it is community crime because Black people live amongst Black people, white people
That's
live
it.
amongst white people, brown people
Yeah.
live amongst brown people,
Right.
Asian folks live amongst Asian folks. So
Right.
obviously the statistics are
Right.
going to relay that.
It's not gonna be black on white. You guys don't let us into those neighborhoods.
Exactly. So it's just like the lack of ability for even our politicians, because there are plenty of politicians who push these narratives too, for people to be so collectively irresponsible with data and just genuinely not know is propaganda in the machine, and it keeps collective marginalized groups down. When we
Yeah.
can push stereotypes, it keeps us down because uneducated politicians exist. I don't know how many times I've heard a politician talk about welfare queen and who is actually getting benefits. And it's like, why are you coming
Meanwhile,
for us?
yeah. Meanwhile, the president, his Head Start program was a $10 million loan from his dad, or
And you know,
gift, or whatever the hell it was.
and you know, with Trump, I don't ever want to hear anything about it. I mean, the man loves gold inlaid things. He has several baby mothers. He lives in government housing. He's the man's ghetto. He's a hood rat.
You got me weak with that one. Oh boy. You just gave me a whole new bullet to put in the chamber.
I'm
That
serious. He has
was
several baby mothers. He loves gold inlaid everything. He lives in government housing.
yeah.
Sounds to me, I know who the real welfare queen is.
Yeah. So I've learned, talking to you guys, I've learned that part of the propaganda um er, is between different candidates, right?
Uh-huh.
And usually the candidate with the most money gets to talk the most shit about the other candidate.
Uh-huh.
So, which is their own type of propaganda. So I'm building up to Citizens United.
Uh-huh.
What are your thoughts on Citizens United?
Citizens United is obviously a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I, I I I think we in general have to be mindful of organizations like that and just in general, but Citizens United has shown over and over that they're a problem. And, you know, if I'm not mistaken, one of the organizations that I have signed on with, um, one of the endorsement questions was, would you vote to undo Citizens United? And absolutely yes.
How many
Yeah.
times can I mark that box?
Like
Circle, circle, star.
it's just the money and politics conversation in general is just it
Yeah.
it's I just posted a check last week on the 4th, $5,220 to put my name on the ballot.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's so the southern states still have a lot of echoes of Jim Crow era blockers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I don't know, Harry Jaron, where he's running, there's like 24 people in his primary because the ballot access is as it should be, is more streamlined. It's only $100 to put your name on a congressional ballot where he is. Where I'm at, it's $5,220. You look at Florida, it's $10,440.
Oof. Yeah.
And so, you know, the South is known for ballot access issues. And so that's one of the things that we need to address in government too. And one of the reasons we have so many issues is because so much damn money is running around in politics, and these PACs, these companies, these organizations, these corporates, they have the ability to back the candidate of their choosing, and money absolutely is a barrier. We need to reinvent how this all of this works. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's insane. You know, my incumbent is sitting on $1 million war test. You know, and for grassroots
Mm-hmm.
candidates, that's like, oh goodness, okay.
And it's not even just the money, but from what I understand, from what I've learned, is he also gets, or she, also gets like access to different tools that makes their running a little easier.
Yes, like uh, for example, software, obtaining software that can break down a voter roll
Yeah.
and develop canvassing door knocking routes can run up to $1,800 a month.
Oof.
Yeah, it's insane. Like NGP van costs anywhere between $800 and $1,200 a month.
And that's part of like what you get by
It's part of what you
running
use. Yep, that's what you
running
use. You get
under
access
the
to.
Democratic umbrella.
Yes, but
Yeah.
these tools aren't just given. You have to pay for them.
Right. And
No,
that's something
it's rough.
that I've been trying to explain to the listeners, is that like there's a lot of you grassroots candidates that are running under the banner of the Democratic Party because you need access to things like this, the
Yeah,
software and
I
call
mean,
banks and
honestly,
stuff like that.
if it weren't too many barriers, more than likely I'd be running as an independent. But
Yeah.
because there are so many barriers in the South, it's just not wise if I actually want to get in there and make a difference.
Yeah.
Um, because there's certain companies that won't even give you access to certain things if you are running as an independent.
Yeah.
And so it just we claim that we don't exist in a two-party system, but it's very clearly only a two-party system when you actually break it down into who has options and who has an actual voice,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah. And it's hard to explain to people that we need to break away from the two-party system, um, because it seems like an insurmountable task.
Uh-huh.
And these folks have carved out their markets and they've built the tools and for centuries, they've been getting their machine to this point. So it would be really hard to have a third party building those same tools. It would be cool. It'd be cool to it'd be cool to go in there and see what they have available and just start taking notes. Be like, all right,
Mhm.
we need to do this, need to do, and then just go and find some developers.
Mhm. Absolutely. I know several candidates who are starting the process of like building out apps and websites because they see an immediate need. So I
Mm,
do think with this wave of candidate, wave of voter block, I think we will start seeing more alternative options,
yeah,
um, especially with so many progressive candidates in the cycle.
yeah,
So I do think there is hope for improvement, but as it stands right now, it's still very much a two-party system.
yeah. I talked to Victoria Broderick last
I
night.
love Victoria.
She's so much fun.
She's so much fun. My first ever protest in March was in DC, and we actually got to march together. And she kept me laughing the entire time. She's great. I adore Victoria.
She's hilarious. So she's running for Tennessee 4.
Yes.
So if you need she's running in the district that has that where Jack Daniels is made.
She is a whiskey girl. We talk about it.
But she was
I
telling
adore
me
her.
yesterday, she said something that made me feel good. She said, yeah, we have the tools that the Democratic Party has available for us, but we're also, and it's not just that we're trying to leverage the tools that they have, but we are coming in to try to change the party in general.
Oh yeah, because make no mistake about it. Victoria is one of the candidates that we're both involved with citizens impeachment. We both signed on with citizens impeachment.
Hmm.
Um, and this, like I said, this wave of progressives, I'm pretty sure the majority of us, if we had an actual choice, we would not be running under a Democratic ticket
Hmm.
because the old establishment Democrats are just as much of a problem as the establishment Republicans. Make no bones about it. Like
Yeah.
the if because how did we get here? If they
Hmm.
were doing their jobs, how the hell did we get here?
Yeah.
Right? So it's they got to go.
Yeah.
If you're not doing anything with your seat, respectfully, get off of it.
Talking to you, Hakeem Jeffries. Here comes Vance Bostic, damn it.
I love Vance.
Vance is, he's a hoot.
This past what 2 weeks ago, 2 weekends ago, he stayed with me for March for Democracy. He's so funny. It was an adventure every day with Vance.
I follow up with him often on Instagram, and we talk on Instagram. I'm trying to get him to come back on. I
Oh
wanna
yeah.
I wanna do an episode where I talk to you guys about what it was like coming in as a grassroots candidate and then learning that both sides are fixed
Hmm.
and like what's that make you feel like, I want to have like a round table and have you guys just vent
Yeah, I mean,
and
because
just tell and just snitch on everything.
several of us have had like literal party members, groups from our party directly try to stop us from running. I've had that issue. The Democratic Party of Georgia has not contacted me. They have not supported me. They don't share my content. There have been posts made about who is running. I'm often left out of those posts. Like, yeah, it's a
Mm,
common thing. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a common thing because I'm the only one out of the group. They're pretty moderate. The
Hmm.
Dems that are running are fairly moderate. No
Hmm.
one has called to abolish ICE. No one's called for impeachment, but I am, and I'm not afraid to. So
Yeah.
what's wrong with the Democratic Party? What is the issue?
Right.
So if you don't think that there's an issue, if you don't feel like you need to take action right now, respectfully, it's time for you to go.
It's
So
time. Right.
yeah.
And I've been making this assertion. If you are I'm going to be 54 next week. I've worked in advertising in Chicago. I've worked in the movie industry down in LA and up here in Silicon Valley. I've done software design, I've done all the things. I can guarantee you, if you are older than me, you don't have what it takes to take on this onslaught that is AI, that is techno, whatever the hell it is that's happening, and where we're all these data centers and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
You don't have what it takes, y'all.
Uh-huh.
You don't. You don't work nearly as hard as the people in Silicon Valley do. You
100%.
don't.
And talk about understanding
Maxine
because
Waters, I
these
love you, girl.
I
I
love you, mama.
love you, girl. But at 80 something or other, you don't know. You don't know. You
You know
can't
what was
fathom
what
how
was great
fast
though?
this stuff is moving.
She is so feisty, and I so love her for that. I was at the Congressional Black Caucus in DC back in September.
Uh-huh.
I went to the bathroom. I got invited to the Phoenix Awards, so I was in the bathroom washing my hands, and Maxine Waters just walks in the bathroom right up beside me at the sink, and she looks at me. And she goes, "I hate coming to these things. I just want to hold my workshops. I just want to talk to voters. I don't want to do this." And I was like, "I so feel you."
That's it too. That's it too. I'm a man of the people. I love
Right?
being
She was like, "I don't
around
want to
my
do this."
people. Yeah, I love being around my people. I am awkward when I get invited to rich people stuff. I feel awkward. I feel awkward.
The
And
rich
it's
people
not even, and
things.
it's probably because I'm not rich people, but
Well, I mean, also you have to think about like there is no ethical billionaires, right? So it's like
yeah.
when you're around people of a certain tax bracket, you have
Hmm.
that once you're of a certain awareness, you have that itch in the back of your head, like, what did you do to get your money? Like, are you safe? Are you a good person to be around? You
I'm
know?
glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because living in Chicago, living in LA, and living here, I have been around money, people with generational wealth.
Uh-huh.
Some of those kids are dumb. Some of
Weird,
those
weird
kids are
energy
real dumb, and it
and
just
weird
so happens
energy.
that they got. It just so happens that they have money.
Weird energy. It's just like I think there is kind of just a shift. And I've seen it so much because I'm so present in online spaces, especially on TikTok. The way people are so turned off from influencers and those billionaire influencers on social media and people doing like huge hauls. They're like, we want to talk to people and hang out with people and support people who are like us.
Yeah.
It's like, there's that one billionaire Becca Bloom on TikTok. She
Mhm.
does all these ridiculous luxury hauls and it's like, girl, this is not real life. It's- and so it's hard to be in community with those people because they are so far removed
Yeah.
from what the average person is dealing with and just experiencing, right? The
Mhm.
girl's never clipped a coupon a day in her life, right? Like, you know?
Yeah.
So I think there's a tide is turning
Yeah.
and people are seeing that elitism is not where you want to be.
Yeah.
It's just not.
It's not. It's not.
Oh, you're right. 12:30 did come fast.
Yeah. Told you. Is it time? Do we need to start wrapping up? Okay.
Maybe like 5 or so.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone's got to go
Um.
to get washed. So try to say that not too loud because we'll have to fight. It's like,
All
bathing a
right.
14-year-old lab chow is he's very grumpy. He's not about it.
Yeah. I have to give mine a bath too.
See, at least
My
they're small enough that you can like
I put them in the sink in the garage. Yeah, I put them in the sink. It's easy.
no, I have to
But
like take him somewhere.
My girl Rosie, she's feisty.
Who is she?
She's a rescue. She's a rescue, and
Oh,
she ain't about that life.
she's not about it.
It used to take me 8 hours to cut her hair. nobody else, and the reason I did it was because nobody else on she wouldn't let anybody else on the planet touch her like that.
Oh my gosh. See, he's the opposite. Like, it used to be I could bathe him, fight with him a little bit, get him in the bath. But now he's like, don't touch me, don't look at me, don't clip my claw, don't. And I'm like, dude, you know what? You're elderly, so you've earned the right to kind of be picky in what you want. So
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah. As you
And
put
I
in your
like my
time, I'll be
fingers. I
patient.
like my hands intact. So dogs. Nothing more embarrassing in the world than kids and dogs.
Listen,
See?
I've been hanging out with family members have been having kids, and this is the first time in my life where I have consistently been around 3, 4, 5, 6 year olds.
You're embarrassing.
Listen, I, we were at a restaurant and I was playing with my godson. He's 4. And
Oh,
why
good.
I don't know why he thought it was a good idea. He just straight up stuck his tongue dead in my ear.
Kids.
And I was like, what do I looked at his mom and she was smiling. I was like, I feel weird.
Violet.
Like, what do I do? I don't know what to do.
But kids will do the wild. I used to be a nanny. Kids will do the wildest thing. There's nothing more embarrassing than kids and dogs, and God forbid you put them together.
Oh yeah. 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 Let's go ahead and start bringing this plane in for a landing. Bri
Okay.
Woodson, let the people know, take a couple minutes, let them know why you're doing what you're doing, why you're doing it for them, and where they can follow up with you online.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am running for Congress in Georgia's 12th district because I believe that we need better representation. And it's not just in my district, but it's someone that is willing to be a representative for every constituent that they're responsible for, every voter that they touch, every person that policies will affect. I think we've seen way too much of our politicians genuinely not caring for their constituent base, genuinely not caring for the people who these policies directly affect the most. And it's high time that we get somebody in the mental health field in office.
For real.
Congresswoman Salinas, Andrew Salinas does have a psychology degree, but I believe she's the only one. Um, but I think it's high time we get people in office that genuinely care about marginalized people and genuinely care about the future of where we're going, the future of our country. And if you want to find more about me in particular, social media is a great way to do it. I've got a footprint from a year ago, so feel free to dig into it. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram, of course, under Bri Woodson for Congress. But if you want to find me as a content creator, you'll find me under the Controversial Blonde on TikTok, Instagram, and Substack, and Threads too. So, and of course, visit BrieWoodsonForCongress.com to get involved, to donate. I do have an ActBlue. My ActBlue is actblue.com/Woodson-listens. So find me
Awesome.
on all of the above spaces.
And I'm going to go ahead and put all that stuff in the description of this video.
Sounds good.
And I feel sad because I haven't even been able to ask you about my boy Herschel Walker.
What about Herschel Walker?
That's what I'm asking.
What
Last time
about
I
him?
saw he was running for Congress out there in Georgia somewhere, and then he got caught up in Trumpism and now he's disappeared.
We don't talk about Herschel Walker. That's what I said. What about him? we don't. We, as a Georgia girlie, we just move on from Herschel.
That's the smartest thing you can do.
That's
Oh,
no, we
oh
don't.
Herschel.
I don't claim Herschel Walker. Get somebody else to do it. This is not me.
Yeah, my boy ran for Congress and was crazy. He was a
Yeah,
wild,
that is a
wild
good
boy.
question. Like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Herschel Walker?
Yeah.
What happened?
I thought you were a qualified candidate to run for Congress and now you're just missing? Where
Yeah,
you
because I
at?
mean, like, and I tell people all the time, even if I win or lose, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
This is just the tip of it. You
yeah.
know, people
This
are
is right.
asking like, well, what's next if you don't win it? I'm like, "Well, there's plenty for me to do,
Right,
plenty,
right.
plenty.
If anything, your day is going to get a lot easier.
Oh yeah, it ain't
Bri
no joke running
Woodson.
for Congress. It's no joke.
Bri Woodson, thank you so much for taking
Thank you for
time.
having me.
And I'm so happy that people like you exist.
Thank
And
you.
I'm so happy that you care enough to put yourself out there and make change. We really do need way more people like you. And I agree, we need therapists
Care
in
enough, crazy
Congress.
enough. Duh, duh, duh.
Yeah. Intelligent enough. Boy, we need to get these dummies out of Congress. But that you care, that you can see the world with clear eyes. I'm so happy that you guys are making this move and this
Thank
push.
you. I appreciate
Anytime you need me, I'll come running.
it. Thank you.
'Cause yeah, we need this change. We need this change.
We sure do. We
It's
sure do.
time. It's
It's
time.
integral to our survival. So,
100%. They got ice out here. Fuck ice.
oh, chinga la migra.
And she's bilingual, y'all. Come on, give it up. Give
Poquito,
it
poquito.
up.
No, I was very proud. I've been trying to dive back into it and pick up my words and phrases again. I was in an Uber 2 days ago, and I was very proud of myself. I was able to like point them to my place, and it was like Ocho building over there. You know, it was great. So
Yeah.
like I need to get back into practicing, but poquito, I do speak a little.
Let me tell you my dilemma. I speak Spanish. I have to speak Spanish, otherwise I cannot communicate with my father or my
Yeah,
uncle. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I live in a place where it's mostly Mexicans.
Mm.
The Mexicans won't speak Spanish to me because I speak a different kind of Spanish.
What kind of Spanish are you speaking?
Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican.
Like, listen, I used to have a Cuban boss, and he would yell at me in Spanish, and I just look at him, and because he get upset because I could understand other Spanish spoken to me, but I'm like, you speak at the speed of light. You're saying
Right.
words I never heard in ways I never heard them.
You've heard them. You just haven't heard them pronounced like that.
Cuban Spanish is different. I'm like, his name was Adelvis. I'd be like, Adelvis, what are you saying to me? And he said, you understand what other people say? I'm like, what? I understand you.
Number one, you got to slow down.
Like way down. And it's always like so much hand action is going on. Like, Cubans talk with their hands so much.
And we get excited. I'll be here telling stories. I'll be telling stories, and people like, why are you mad? I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm out of breath, sweating and stuff. I'm not mad. I'm just telling a story.
This passion, man. Oh God, I love it.
Bri Woodson, everybody. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so
I
much,
can't wait to
Carlos.
bump into you again.
Oh, it's definitely gonna happen.
Excellent. And with that, everybody, we're out.
Coconut Trust.